Hello everybody, welcome to today's Timely Live. I'm Steph, I am your host for today. It is so good to see everybody and thank you for joining us on Instagram. So we've gone for a different take today, but hello everybody. Hey Corinna, I can see you there. Hi there, we're happy, and Marshall. Now I can see a few people just starting to roll on into today's live. So we're running a touch ahead of time. So just before I bring on our amazing guest for today, I'd just like to get to know the audience and know where you're watching from in the world, as well as, are you in hair, are you in beauty, or are you in skin? Because if you are in skin, you're really going to enjoy today's live. The last thing I want to mention is we do take questions throughout all of our lives. So do not be shy at all. Jump in those comments below and then just ask as many questions as you like. It can be for myself and it can be for our guests today. So I'm just going to have a little look here and see how everybody is going today. Good afternoon or good evening. I think in the UK it's quite late at the moment. And I'm just going to pin our topic of the day here. Here we go. Oh, hi there, social space. I like that. All right, so bear with me one sec. There we go. All pinned. Beautiful. Now you all know what we're going to be talking about today. Alrighty, so we do have a very special guest joining us shortly. So Corinna Tolan from Corinna Tolan's Beauty and Skin Clinics, and I'll do those formal introductions very, very soon. But don't forget, you're more than welcome to jump in, say hello, let us know where you're watching from today. We do often have an audience that is actually global, which is really nice as well. But it's always good to see everybody. Hey there, Miss Marshall. Hi there, JD. Lovely. Oh, and we've already got a few skin advocates joining us. Hello, hello. Perfect. So good to see everybody. If you are UK based, how was everybody's day, I wonder as well, because I've literally just rolled out of bed. So it's good to see all of you. Hey there, Keegan. Good to see you. Hi, Lizzie. Good to see everybody. Wonderful. Alrighty. Hi there. Oh, hi there, lashes and brows. Oh my goodness, you'll never believe I haven't had them done in about 5 months. Thanks, Australian lockdowns. Now, we've got a really fun, informative session for tonight's Instagram Live. We want to make sure that you get the most out of it as well. So don't be shy and ask questions, but as well, we are here to help you if you do need anything. Hello there, Chloe. Good to see you. Alrighty. Cool. Hey there, Issy. Oh, I've got, hi there. Oh, what does it say? Lock 45. Nice. Oh, thank you. That is so nice. I'm very caffeinated. I hope it helps. Beautiful. Hey there, Tabitha. Good to see you. Alrighty, so it's almost time to get started, so I might just do the formal introductions of myself. If you've not seen me on Timely's lives before, my name is Steph and I am an account executive here at Timely. Before working at Timely, I was working in the beauty and aesthetics industry for about 9 years, but over that time I found that I had a secondary love, and that was working in technology. So I work for Timely to empower business owners from the tech side of things. So hello and good to see you all again. You might recognize me from a few other Instagram lives that we've done, as well as our weekly hit classes that I do with Alex from Timely. So we've just been hosting those throughout the lockdown period, and it's awesome to be back for another live today. Now, as mentioned, we are so excited to be joined by skin expert Corinna Tolan from Corinna Tolan's Beauty and Skin Clinics. Now, Corinna is a real triple threat. She's a company owner, director, as well as a practitioner, and her team have been setting the standard for skincare for over 40 years in Ireland, and they really pride themselves on their continuous innovation as well as being results-driven treatments and products as well. So I can see that Corinna is here ready to join us. So I'm going to bring her on and she can tell you her story. So bear with me 1 second. Here we go. All right. Perfect. Hello! Oh my goodness, you look fabulous.
Thank you so much. I have had all day to get ready, Steph. Unlike you, it's late in the evening here. How are you? Thank you for having me.
I am good. I am good. Thank you so much for joining us. And yes, you look fantastic. So I'm very excited to be chatting with you today. Have you had a really nice day though, before we get started with everything?
Yeah, I have. I was in clinic all day. Unfortunately, last night our country was sent into lockdown again, so we will close up tomorrow evening. So,
Yeah.
yesterday when this was announced, I was like, this is fine. We've got this. I've done it before. And, there's a lot of positives that can come out of it. I do believe I grew as a company owner and partner, and also my team grew over the last lockdown. But if I'm honest, today I found it quite upsetting, even just with my team. I'm so close to them, as you can imagine. I'm thinking I'm not going to see them for 6 weeks and making sure they're okay. And my clients too. Like when we see each other again, it's going to be practically Christmas. So it's disconcerting. Like, I try and try to stay as positive, but if I'm honest, I found today tough.
A tough day, totally. Well, we've been in lockdown, I think, longer than the entire world at this point, and all of my good girlfriends are from beauty, they're from aesthetics, so it is really heartbreaking, and I definitely know there are up and down days, so I'm sending you virtual hugs.
Thank you.
And I thought, you know what, because you are so innovative as well, and you have been through all this stuff before, I thought you are the perfect person to be speaking with, especially when it comes to doing your online consultations and things like that. So why don't we kick things off, just hearing about your journey and all the things you've learned and grown throughout your time in the beauty industry.
Well, we could be here all night. I am over 20 years myself, but I do like to say I'm really all my life in this industry. Of course, my mom is Corinna Tolan. I was 2 when she started up working in a clinic, working in the salon. And, I really grew up in this industry. I'm working in the salon with her since I was about 11, 12 years old, emptying bins, preparing treatment rooms. But more than that, I feel I learned so much around the kitchen table, like all businesses, particularly empaths like us. I think people in our line of work, we feel a lot, and we take a lot home with us as well. And my mom certainly did. Actually, one of the greatest lessons I learned from her was to try and put boundaries in place for doing that. Yeah, exactly. So I learned a lot from her, really, just from chatting to my dad, sitting around the kitchen table. And my mom had team members, a big team member, considering when she started her business 40 years ago, quite a lot of girls working for her on her team, and they were like family to us. My dad taught maybe 3 or 4 of them how to drive when he used to be bringing them home in the evening. Like my mom wouldn't have them stand at a bus stop late, and she'd call my dad, and he'd tell them to get behind the steering wheel and off they go.
Oh my goodness.
They really, yeah, absolutely. So only recently one of her girls who worked with her commented, and I would know Ashley, who commented that she was making sure I was looking after myself. And oh God, I must have been 8 or 9 when she started working with my mom. So yeah, I'm a long time in this industry, but still learning, still learning, still growing.
Definitely. Oh, I feel like it's such a beautiful story. And you know what? It's one that's often forgotten, that a lot of us are from beauty in a more familial way. So it's really nice. And obviously you just sponged all of that in as well. And it sounds like, over time you've kind of created your own ideas and implemented them. So I know you're extremely well known for your online skin consultations. So I used to do those, and I just want your input 100% on that.
Okay, yeah, for sure. So we've always been, as my mum was before me, leaders in our field. I tend to step away from anything that I see others doing. I just kind of leave them to it. I'm very, like you said, innovative. I like to do things ourselves, And this is exactly what happened with online consultations. We're going to be 4 years doing online consultations in January. 4 years ago, it was unheard of. I know certainly there was nobody in Ireland doing it at the time. And, if I'm honest, a lot of people in the industry, my peers and also people in distribution and stuff, and people I worked very closely with who knew how reputable we were and are, and they were like laughing. They were like, this is not going to work. And, they threw quite a bit of shade on it at the time. But, the way it always was, and even when it came to social media and my business as well, I knew how good we were. I knew we were doing something different to anybody else. And what was important for me was to get that out there to the masses, if you wish. And of course, social media allowed me to do that. And then it became very clear and very apparent to everyone else. So of course we had people at home, moms, people working, confined to a working area that couldn't come up to us. And also with the cosmetic formulations that I work with, and we work with only medical grade cosmetic formulations and supplements, and I know the power of them. So I knew I could easily make concise changes in skin via a virtual existence, which of course we did. Only 10 minutes before I came on here tonight, I looked at my DMs and I got the most lovely message. And every now and again, I'm floored. Sometimes I kind of say I'll act surprised, because honestly, it's every day. It's a couple of times a day when I get stunning photographs, progress pics. I don't like to say before and after because it's never after. We're always mid-journey, And only just before I came into here to you tonight, I got a beautiful photograph with a stunning result. But, the physical changes are wonderful, but it's the emotional changes I see in the clients. It's the words that my clients use when talking to me. It's beautiful. I even have goosebumps thinking, and it's why I'll never get
getting
bored.
that as well.
Yeah,
it's like that beautiful story where you're like, I can see you look beautiful now. You can see the changes in the skin, but it's almost like watching a flower bloom in a way when you do help someone's skin, and it's so rewarding. And so I can imagine like you guys are doing that from a virtual sense, and you're still getting that reward for that helping them. It's so beautiful.
I think it's even more rewarding when you never meet the person, because it's what you have done. And what we must remember in our industry as well, when we achieve these incredible life-changing results, we do it without medication. It's so easy to write a script.
It is.
And to fill somebody's body with like antibiotics that are going to kill the good bacteria and have awful side effects as well. Like, I've taken them, and at times I've said the thrush I got from antibiotics is worse than any of the infections it was trying to kill,
Exactly.
So to be able to do this without any side effects or without jeopardizing their health any further, and also you're empowering clients with knowledge and education. I always say knowledge is power, and you're teaching them how to have beautiful, healthy skin for a lifetime. You're teaching them how to control their skin and not have their skin control them.
Exactly. Oh, it's so beautiful. I love the way you speak about this because I also am so passionate about it. So thank you for sharing as well. I was going to ask you as well, because your online consultations, were they originally like complimentary and then they became paid, and they were always paid?
No, I put huge value on our time and on our expertise. We don't work for free.
Perfect. Yeah, beautiful. And
you know what I've found as well, Steph? You do something for free and there's no value put on it, not only by you, but by the client.
Exactly right. Beautiful. Well, I was going to say as well, so do you feel that, through 2020 being as crazy as it has been, that being able to perform those online skin consultations has really protected not only your brand, but also your business as well?
Do you know what it has done? It has kept my team, some of my team, unfortunately not all, but it has kept them employed. And that's huge, It's kept their mortgages paid, and it's kept, I guess, for our mental health, because I'd be lying if I told you that I don't work for my mental health. And of course, it's incredible feeling to be able to help people like we do. Yeah. But it's kept us employed and kept us paid, but also I think it's done a lot for the recipient of the service too, particularly over lockdown, because we could work harder treatments. Maybe it may have been a little bit more invasive, and also it gave people had the time, I know you asked the question, do I think people were looking at their skin more? And I actually don't know if that's true. I think people just had maybe money that they would have spent normally on holidays or on weddings or, stuff like that. And suddenly maybe they had a little bit more cash, and they were very, very limited in what they could do. And I guess women in particular, don't we put ourselves on the long finger all the time, particularly moms. So I think those people were reaching out to us.
Definitely. Oh, I find that so empowering as well. And it's very true that you say that, because I have a few good friends at Timely, and I've been pushing them all to treat their skin, because we are in lockdown and now's the time to do it. And everyone's feeling so much better. It's not only for like their mental health, but just day to day, they feel really good about themselves. You can see it when they talk as well, like they're happier and they
Oh,
glow
they
more. And
glow.
it's, yeah, and it's like so rewarding for yourself as well. I was going to say, because you are the guru of online skin consultations, why don't you take me through what are the best questions to ask, just for those who are watching? Because I think there are a few therapists out there who are just, they're a little nervous to do it. I mean, even just to be on camera. I mean, my first time, I was really nervous. You get used to it. But I think like a few really good tips for them just to kind of get that confidence and start doing it would be so great.
Okay, well, believe in yourself, believe in the service you provide. And I always
Mm-hmm.
say, be the most knowledgeable person. Knowledge is power. Not just are you
Mm-hmm.
empowering your client when you educate them, but yourself. Constantly ask yourself the questions
Mm-hmm.
that make you most uncomfortable, that back you into a corner, and find the answers so that if that situation ever arises, you're okay, you're able for it. So with regards to the online consultation, the way it is for me when I do them now, I have my team who probably do a much better job. I've only recently, due to demand, and I only take 4 clients a week. I don't take any more than that, because obviously I have to mind my family too. They come first.
Mm-hmm.
And also, honestly, Steph, if I was to offer my services anymore, people would want me because of my profile, and I want them to want my team. I want my team employed.
Mm-hmm.
But I genuinely do think, because over lockdown, I would have met with my team every week. We had a weekly consultation meeting, and their knowledge is incredible, and how they come together and the service that they provide to my
Mm-hmm.
clients. But for me, the first thing I do is make my client comfortable. We always start with a little chat, just like you did
Mm-hmm.
with me here tonight, asking about
Yeah.
their day, asking what's rocking their world, how they're feeling and how they're doing. And then something that's really huge for me, it was, one of those aha moments that you have. And I
Mm-hmm.
learned this a long time ago, and I brought it not only into my online consultations, but in my treatment room as well.
Yeah.
If you don't understand or know what the client's expectation is of you, you will
Mm-hmm.
never meet it. It's kind of like throwing darts. You might hit it from time to time. But if
Yeah.
you want to deliver an on-point service, you must know what it is that your client expects. So I
Mm-hmm.
simply say, tell me why you booked this online consultation to meet with me this evening. What is it that
Mm-hmm.
you hope to achieve? And if that question doesn't give the answer that you'd hoped, then I simply say, if I had a magic wand right here, right now, what would you ask me to do with it? And you'll find they'll come out of there, they may not even know. But when you
Mm.
ask that question, they start thinking, and suddenly all their little issues and woes and things that maybe they're a little bit self-conscious of comes up, and then
Yeah.
you have a chance. Then you can directly target them, because obviously, like I said, we work with medical grade skincare, so it's really
Yeah.
important. Always in my DMs, I get people asking me, I've got this, what would you recommend? I've that, what would you recommend? And I actually
Mm.
think my answer is, I think too much of you, first of all, to give you a half arse answer, that I don't even really know if that's what's
Yeah.
bothering you. I know nothing about your lifestyle, anything. And
Mm-hmm.
I think too much of me and the service we provide. So it's always a consultation. I always just send the link to the consultation, because you deserve that time.
Yeah, beautiful. And so they fill out that consultation form before they come through and have their virtual one-on-one.
Oh yeah, we have some key questions that we ask, like how young are you, and if you're pregnant, and if you intend to be, and what skincare you formerly use, how has it met your expectations, or has
Mm-hmm.
it any medication, and you can establish lots of stress levels. Really important, we
Mm.
address the gut always first. So we would all have briefed ourselves in them, so I'd have a really good idea. But I tend not to.
Yeah.
I feel the client has given me all that information. I want more. I've already made up a kind of an
Yeah.
idea in my head, so I'm looking for more information for her.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes it will mirror what I thought, or sometimes it will show me and we'll go a different direction. But it's always time well spent, and it's always mutually beneficial. I'm learning the whole time, and as are they as well. And of
Yeah.
course, they're investing in themselves.
Beautiful. I love that answer. A magic wand, man. If I had a magic wand for everything, Zoom makes me freak out. I think that's something that I've noticed here in Australia, is that everyone keeps talking about their Zoom face because everything went virtual. So everyone's like, oh my God, what's that? So we hear about that quite often, but it's interesting in contrast on the other side of the world, how everyone's like, oh, I actually can spend some time on myself and, you know, really think about those, you know, answers to those questions when they get that consultation as well. And I was going to say, are there any sort of, apart from the initial trying to work out what their expectations are, you know, and making sure you have a really clear vision, is there any other questions that you tend to ask them that are based around like treatments or services and things like that, and even products as well, just to kind of clarify things a little bit deeper with them?
Well, you know, we as I'm sure when you work in the industry, we all have red flags. You know, there's things that I'll listen for and I'll hear, and then I'll know. Maybe if they say I'm breaking out, and maybe if they say I've just introduced peptides, so you know peptides can trigger breakout. So you're like, okay. Sometimes I'll just send an email back between now, because we may not meet for 10 to 14 days, you know, after the book, and I'll say, can you just stop the peptides? And then I'll be able to say, how has the last 14 days been? And I'll be able to work it out. But I don't really tend to give too, in my questions, because sometimes you'll find people will answer what they think you want to hear.
Ah, interesting.
So the question needs to be kind of vague enough for you to gather the information you need, but also not too much so that they'll answer like, you know, we all do it. We all get consultation forms, and we kind of, you know, the person you really wish you were.
Or you just go, yes, no, yes, no. I think that's like almost like, in a nutshell, open-ended questions, so that way they can't just say, you say, oh, you're using sunscreen. They say, no. And you're like, you sort of open it up a little bit more, which is really good as well. And I was going to say, so all of the consultation like forms the same that you give them, or the aftercare in comparison? Because I think, you know, when you do have that one-on-one with them afterwards, do you then provide them with their own like treatment care plan and things like that? So is there variance in between the types of forms you like to give, or the types of follow-up you give?
Well, you know, initially to gather the information, it's the same, will go to everyone. But we also, like you say, have open-ended questions. And if there's anything you think we should know, you think may help us do a better job, please provide that information. But I think everybody leaves us differently. You know, I could see 20 clients. I obviously never would, usually 6 to 8 clients in a day. And I would never have the same conversation or do the same treatment twice. It's all completely customized. And, you know, it could be depend where they are in their journey as well. You could have a bride, you know, who's just brought her wedding forward and she get married in 8 weeks. Well, she's going to have a completely different care plan than if she came and said, I pushed my wedding out and I get married in 2 years. You know, so it will all be adjusted accordingly, you know, and, you know, they could be on medication. It could be just off Roaccutane, so that's going to have a big influence. They could be planning a pregnancy. That's huge. Or just had a baby and maybe be breastfeeding. So all those things, everybody would be different, really. You think, you see, this is the thing about skincare. Everyone thinks it's just a cleanser and an SPF, because I know what the questions they ask me, and I'm like, God, if it was that generic, like, well, first of all, if it was that generic, I'd be really bored. But you know, it's really quite complex, you know. But I'm not gonna lie, I know I just have such a flair, but that flair comes from experience. I'm 23 years fixing skin, you know, so I do have such an intuitive way with people and with their skin. I just know what will work and what won't work, you know, and which is very lucky. It's very lucky. It makes my my job very easy. It's more fluid like, and my team listen to me and the whole time, you know, and I have them listen to me. They would shadow me in my treatment room. I leave my treatment door slightly ajar so they can hear my conversations. And then they pick up that natural flair for it as well. You can't force it, and you certainly can't fake it.
Exactly right. That was going to be my very next question. I was like, how do you inspire your team with that passion and that knowledge? Like, is it just continuous? You know, do you have set training days where you cover off things as well?
Yeah, well, I do master classes with my team a lot, and they're really, really good. I love them as much as they do, and I'm only doing that recently because honestly, before lockdown, I was in the treatment room all the time, 6 days a week, fixing skin, and it's just where I felt is where I performed best, you know. I was very happy, my clients were very happy, but lockdown made me realize that I don't need to be in the treatment room, you know. I can be online, I can be on my social media platform, and most importantly, I can be masterclassing my team, you know. They are incredible women who are, I say women, I'd love a man on my team. I was only recently coming up with superheroes for a graphic. And I was like, oh darn, I'd love a man. So any men out there that work in our industry, please apply at Monica Tolan's.
Oh yes,
it would be so cool. I just feel it'd be really, really good. But Yeah, so my team are amazing. But you know what? I do believe I attract a type as well, you know.
Okay.
Only people who are passionate and serious about skincare will want to work with me. So as a result, I do have a magnetic effect on that therapist. I have clients, this is going to mean nothing to you, but let's say Claire comes all the way from Wexford. So that's more than an hour round trip every day. I have Sean who came to me straight from college from County Carlow, which is an hour and a half, 2-hour drive. And I remember thinking like, you know, I remember saying to Claire, look, Claire, you know, the commute is huge. I'd say if I had you for 6 months, we'll both be, you know, really grateful. And I'm quite happy at that point for you to move on. She's with me now 4 years later. Still do that commute.
I hope she moved closer. She was like, I'm
going
to
to
work here and then I'm going to move.
Moving closer 2 weeks ago. And thankfully she didn't, because now we're going into lockdown. And obviously I'd much rather she was with her parents, even if she begs to differ.
True.
But yeah, no, she will. It isn't her plans. It isn't her plans. And I very much support all my team members. You know, I support every decision they make, and I want them to grow as therapists as well, even if it pulls them away in a different direction. You know, once it's growth for them, I'm happy and I support them 100%. And I know that they learned from the best when they worked with us.
Oh, so good. I love those comments about that, especially because like the Superman on the team, I've had one and it's really fun. But it's actually very common here in Australia. I see it more and more now, more than ever, which is really cool. But hopefully you guys do as well. I have to say the best thing is they have very nice, like big, warm hands, amazing for any kind of facial treatments. And their knowledge is like in depth as well, which is really nice as well. Oh, someone's asking a little question here. Let me just pull it up here. I think one of your followers is asking if Bronwyn is still on your team.
Yeah, she is, of course.
Oh my goodness, there you go.
Bronwyn comes from South Africa. We have 2 girls from South Africa working on our team.
Oh, beautiful, beautiful. The last thing I was going to ask was, is there going to be a Monica Tolan formula anytime soon? Your own formula?
Well, you know, people ask me that all the time. And, you know, I believe there's a lot of really, really good skincare in the world. You know, I'm not sure if I feel I need to add to that. I have recently teamed up with one. I'm not going to give too much away, but I'm not going to be one of those people either. But I have one of the pharmaceutical companies that I work with from Sweden have collabed with me, and we will be bringing something out before Christmas. Please God, unless I don't know the pandemic shuts down shipments, which I doubt it will. And that's really, really exciting, and it's lovely for me just to dabble my toes in it. We have some beauty tools coming out as well before Christmas, which is really conducive to this time. I also learned how, for me, lockdown proved to me something I always knew, which is that skincare is self-care, you know, and it is so good to take that time out. I've never meditated. It's one of my goals over this lockdown is to learn how. But, you know, honestly, Steph, I think I've meditated all my life, you know, in how I've taken care of my skin, you know. And in that time, I've always kind of zoned out when I do it, you know. And I remember just being able to see over the bathroom sink in my parents' house when I was about 8 or 9, and I remember trying cleansers and massaging them in, all different ones. So I've been doing it since without realizing, you know, it's just what I do. I have a bath, I put on a face mask, I get some tools, I do some lymphatic drainage, and I completely zone out. I love it, and I want that for my clients as well.
So good. Self-care is so important. It's one of those things that like once a week you really just want to look after yourself and promote that. So
very
good.
much.
And actually,
you know, there's a question there. Tell us about your subscription box. And actually, of course, I want to tell you about this because it's something I'm so proud of. So about this time last year, I'd been invited over to Germaine de Cappuccini's factory in Barcelona, where they make their skincare formulations. And I just felt, honestly, Steph, like the luckiest person in the world. I was like, here I am in this factory, all these scientists coming out to talk to me, wanting me to know what they're working on, and you know, these incredible formulations, and you know, so many skincare companies looking to work with me. And I was like, I just wish every woman got to experience this. And boom, my subscription skincare box was born in that moment. So I created this skincare box that it's a subscription. You pay for a year, you pay monthly, a brilliant Christmas present. And every 12 weeks, I didn't want, a big thing that clients say to me is, I've got so much product, am I adding more product? So that, I didn't want that. So I said I'd bring one out every 12 weeks. And in it will be all different boxes, not just for skin, for hair, for well-being, for body, for bath, for shower, tan, everything that would help your transition through the seasons. So each box is themed around the seasons. And again, it's just reiterating that whole self-care, skincare, mental health, well-being, and taking care of yourself.
Nice. Oh my gosh, amazing. I feel like I would sign up to every single box because I need them all, clearly.
Well, do you know, Steph, every time I put a box together, I'm like, damn, I wish I didn't think of this, someone else did, so I could get it. Because the whole thing is the element of surprise. So you could say, of course, I could send one to myself, but that's not the same. It's not the same. But it is also stunning. I'm so proud of it because when we sold out hundreds every 12 weeks, hundreds of boxes, it was a huge hit, and I've actually never advertised it. Last week was my first time to work with 2 bloggers on it. First time I paid for any kind of advertisement. You know, when we put the amount of messages, that's what I want to say to you. These people think like, oh my God, Corinna, look what you've done. I had this box landed, I'm crying, I had the worst day ever. The kids are up all night and this came from me, thank you. And it's just, honestly, it's the best feeling in the world. Yeah. We're so lucky to work in this industry, aren't we?
Oh, so true. And I think as well, like, it kind of feeds back into like how empathetic and nurturing therapists really are. So you're giving them this subscription box, and then you get that little bit of like, oh, I'm looking after you, and you're feeling good about it, they're feeling good about it. I reckon that's really beautiful.
Yeah. We're just gonna ask, do we ship? Yes, we ship these boxes all over the world. America. I wrapped a box one day and it arrived in Arizona the following day in America. Less than 24 hours. She messaged me and I was like, I wrapped your box. And she was like, I know, because I put a little note in it. And so yeah, we ship all over the world, which is great.
Oh my gosh, amazing. Well, I'm just going to have a look here to see if we have any questions, because we're kind of coming towards the end of our catch-up.
No, Steph, I don't want to go.
I know. Oh, someone here said, do you send these to Australia? I think they also want to sign up.
Yeah, so the website for that is skindeepbox.ie, www.skindeepbox.ie.
Beautiful. I'll share that on the timely threads. No doubt you'll get a bunch of sign-ups, because I think we all would love a present to ourselves every 12 weeks, which is perfect. And then the other question here was, would you ever have your own formulations and name your products? I guess that's kind of like the other question we had before. Just getting your toes wet. You look super cheeky. You're like,
No, I no, I don't mind. So I'm working on a sheet mask, so a hyaluronic acid calm and cooling sheet mask. Is that what you asked me? It was, yeah.
Yeah. I think
I'm not a secretive squirrel. I'm okay. It's practically here now anyway, so get excited.
Oh, beautiful. And the last question someone's just asked here is, who inspires you in the industry?
You know, I am inspired every day by my team. They are the hardest working women I know, and they're so passionate, and I genuinely love them so much, and how much they think of me, and even the messages I got from them today, reaching out, asking me was I okay, you know, after the announcement last night. So honestly, when I think screw this, like, I just think, you know what, my team rely on me so much, and I know I'm inspiring them, I'm motivating them, and so I do it for them. And of course my 2 little girls, they're not in the industry though, and I know the question was in the industry. In the industry, I guess my mom, you know, my mom is recently deceased. She passed away last year, but you know, whenever I get a little bit shaky and all the rest, I just remind myself who I am and who my mom was, and how, you know, incredible she was. So for sure, she was the greatest in so many ways, but from a business person as well, the greatest to learn from.
Oh my God, just that perfect little wrap up. So inspiring.
I'm going to. There she is.
Oh, there she is.
She's keeping an eye on me, everything I do.
I was going to say, do you think your girls will follow your footsteps?
Well, you know, they tell me they're going to open Monica Tolan's in Hawaii. I think it's more the ice cream that's luring them over there, and the sunshine than the thought of work. But I don't know. Yes. You know, I always knew, you know, when my mom would be, let's say, having a snooze on the chair after dinner, I'd get a tweezers and try to pull hair from her legs. Like, my mom just knew that I was going to be to work in the industry. They tell me they will. You know what? I say to them, whenever this comes up, or whenever they tell me they want to do something, I say, you can be anything you want to be. You just have to want it enough. So true.
So true. Well, we're almost finished. So I thought, just Thank you so much. It's been so inspiring. I know everyone who's been watching is clearly going to be signing up to your skin boxes, but also they've taken those key things away from, empowering themselves to do those online skin consultations and what kinds of questions to ask. The magic wand, I love it. I wish I could use it for literally everything.
You can.
You can, yeah. And I was just going to say as well, just let everyone in the audience know where they can find you. Facebook, Instagram, all the places. That'd be great.
So my Instagram handle, I have my own, and I also have Monica Tolan, the Skin Experts, is our business one. I brought that out because I felt people were asking me to do cooking demos, and I was like, oh, you know what? And I understand that, and I have no problem doing it, but I felt I needed to have one that was just for the clinics in case that's what people wanted. And then, of course, my own is Corinna at Monica Tolan Beauty. I'm not really active on Facebook. We do have a Monica Tolan Beauty Clinic account, of course, so that's there, but I'm not really on that too much. We do have a private Glow Getter group, though, as well, which is on Facebook. And, of course, we're working on a Monica Tolan Skin Expert app, and that will be huge. We'll create a lovely family environment for all our clients, and, of course, all our team as well. So
Beautiful.
we have a lot going on, Steph.
You have a lot going on. I feel like I'm just going to be watching from the other side of the world, just being like amazing and in awe. So thank you so much for joining us and, inspiring everyone who's using Timely and who's just a massive follower of yours. I hope you have a really nice evening, and thanks again.
Thank you, Steph. It's been a real pleasure. Thank you so much for asking me, and of course to all the team at Timely. You take care and have a wonderful day.
Will do. Bye.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Alrighty, beautiful. Well, we hope you all really enjoyed our Timely Live for today. Just before we jump off, Rui, you just asked a question here. Corinna's skin boxes come every 12 weeks, so jump onto her website and sign up. I know I will be. And it was great to see you all again. So have a wonderful evening if you're on the other side of the world. If you're in Australia, have a great day. Bye.